RMP Radio is on the air. Hi, I am your host, Mr. Fourth Row, and we're going to do something a little bit different, a new type of segment here on RMP Radio. We're going to do a preview of the upcoming Rocky Mountain Pro show coming up this Saturday, February 20th, 2021. And with me, I've got the guy that everybody should love, nobody should hate. He's the play-by-play commentary for Rocky Mountain Pro, and that's KD. KD, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Artie. How's you doing today?
I'm doing just fine, all the craziness of the world. But you know what's maybe fantastic is that we're going to have a great show this coming Saturday for Rocky Mountain Pro. Some live attendance fans. That should be a fun time. I bet everybody there at Rocky Mountain Pro is excited to have some fans in attendance and getting their input on the show live versus just the locker room there.
Oh, definitely. We're super excited to have fans. I believe it's the first time since Shocktober that we've actually had any fans live.
Yeah.
So we're all very, very excited to have some people there. And actually, if I remember correctly, we were supposed to have 30 people, but Fast opened up a little bit more, and they said, you know what, I think we can get 10 more people in here. So we've actually got 40 people coming. We sold out as of today.
Okay.
So, we were sold out of live event tickets, but people can still watch it on the Twitch channel live, which will be awesome. But, man, we are so happy to have our fans back.
I bet. Yeah, it's gonna be great to get. I know the guys and the gals. It's great to get that instant feedback. Of what's happening on the show when these are all being recorded.
Oh, definitely. It's harder to do it without fans there because for Titus and I, it's a little easier because we're interacting with fans throughout the night on Twitch.
Yeah.
But talking to some of the guys, they've even said it's so much more difficult to do it without fans there. You thrive off those fans. You thrive off the energy. And they don't have that. And they said because of that, a lot of those moves hurt 10 times worse. They don't really do.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. I love it. Yeah. So it won't hurt as bad as when you hearing the cheers and the jeers, I guess. Then for the people in the ring,
especially for some of those guys.
Oh, that's great. Well, so let's kind of get into it. We're gonna kind of preview the upcoming show this coming Saturday. It's going to be a charged tapings for the, so if you're not going to be in attendance, like you kind of alluded to, subscribe to twitch.tv/Rocky Mountain Pro, Amazon Prime, your Amazon Prime, of course, get it with your subscription. If you don't have one, or if you already got yours tied up, nominal fee, $5.99, I believe. So there's all that. So what, without, and we're going to not necessarily try to spoil anything that you guys have not, gotten out there on the released episodes yet that have been polished and released and everything, but what can the fans be seeing this upcoming show? Some of the highlight matches and things that they should keep an eye out for and be excited for.
Well, the top thing that we've been promoting recently was something I'm looking very forward to. I got the phone call from Mr. Yaden a few weeks ago saying, hey, we're getting Mike Bennett in. And I'm a huge Mike Bennett fan, have been for years and years. So anybody who's seen him in Ring of Honor, WWE, New Japan, Impact, they know what a special talent Mike Bennett is. Mm-hmm. And this is a guy who, I don't know if anybody's seen the video recently, kind of went viral a little bit, was he drove through a blizzard to go do an indie show this past weekend in front of 14 people.
Oh, whoa.
And he went out and said, you know what, these guys paid to see Mike Bennett. They're going to get Mike Bennett. And he went out there and wrestled. I don't remember how long they wrestled, but somebody in attendance said, he wrestled like you would see on a Ring of Honor show. Like, he didn't hold back. He didn't do any of that. So to have somebody like that who cares that much about wrestling at Rocky Mountain Pro, not just on Saturday for the event, but also for the seminar on Friday, which is open to all talent, not just ASWA students, but all talent is welcome to come to that. That is going to be something special, and it's probably one of the bright lights so far of us being back. So Mike Bennett will be making his Rocky Mountain Pro debut, and we announced his match. We are actually super excited for it. It's actually going to be against Atiba.
Oh, okay.
So that is going to be a can't miss match. That alone is worth the price of a Twitch subscription, in my opinion. Atiba's been blowing up. He's been featured in Ohio Valley Wrestling recently, and he's making his way around towns again now that things are opening up a little bit more. So he's going to be a guy who we've said it before, and I truly believe it. He's going to be a guy, if he's still here by the end of the year, barring life happening. If Atiba's here within the year, I'll be very, very shocked, because that kid has got nothing but an up, trend on him, and having a match with Mike Bennett is just going to put him on the map more than anything ever has.
It's going to put even more eyes than already are on him.
Oh, 100%. I'm looking forward to it, and it's going to be an honor for me to be able to watch that match and to be able to sit at ringside and call that. Mm-hmm. That's going to be amazing. And it's also been revealed. I'll give a little bit of a, not so much of a spoiler, but a little bit of a coaxing. That match is now a #1 contendership match for the Rocky Mountain Pro Championship.
Oh.
Therefore, the winner of that, on our 4th episode, we are going to be having a Night of Champions. So we're going to showcase all the championships. All the titles will be on the line, and the winner of Atiba, Mike Bennett, will face Dustin Urich in the main event of the evening.
Oh, so and this Saturday.
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Oh, there's, gosh, right there, Night of Champions. That should tell the listeners to, if they don't have a ticket, they don't have a subscription, to definitely get that subscription. I would, yeah. That's
definitely. Yeah, I don't know any of the other matches. I know, like I said, the championships will be on the line. However, I have not been included into who is facing who. I just know, Bruce will be there defending, the Bearded Lady will be there defending, and JK Pop will be defending. So we will have all those titles being defended on the last episode of the tapings. So make sure you get your subscriptions in, because that is going to be a hell of a night.
Oh, yeah, awesome. That's great. And kind of along that same lines, what have you, now that the tapings have been, moved right now to the Fast Performance Center, how is that for you doing that and getting those 3 recordings done and trying to kind of stay in sequential order so that when you guys break these up into individual episodes, put them out the YouTube, the Fight TV, the Right Now TV, and the etc. versus just going with the recording of the live stream on the Twitch. Have you been able to yourself been able to kind of keep that all straight and not necessarily jump ahead or able to refer back to what happened earlier in the episode per se, even though it really was that night, kind of breaking that fourth wall a little bit.
Right. Lots and lots of notes. That's, if you'll see it, and there's an episode coming up where you actually see it during the introduction when Titus and I are introducing the show. You see just a ridiculous amount of paper in front of me and Titus, and we're literally going through it. And that's exactly how we're keeping track of everything. I'm writing down, as we go episode by episode, like, okay, this is these matches. Okay, so now I know going forward where to cut and what matches to add to what show. But yeah, lots and lots of notes, lots and lots of note taking, talking to the head writers and everybody, making sure we know exactly what's going to go where, because it can be, it can be very frustrating at times. Thankfully, when we started doing Charge all those years ago, that's how we did it originally. We would just film the shows, and then we'd go back and edit them in post, which was fine. Now, thankfully, with the great crew that we have now in the production team, it's a lot easier because my editing time has been cut dramatically. I would actually have to go through and take each camera footage, line them all up, make sure they were all synced, and then go through and edit camera by camera where I wanted everything to look. And that was that. I was getting to the point where I was getting an episode done in 6 hours, but I mean that's a full day of just editing an episode. So to be able to have the equipment we have now and the team we have now to be able to live cut, because people need to remember what they're seeing on the Twitch stream is what I'm seeing on the monitor, and that's what's going out. So if there's a flub, there's a flub. I can try to cover it, but it's harder. But it's cut my editing time down drastically, which is great. But I'm still behind on episodes half the time. I'm actually finishing up the last episode from Before Ace is Wild today, actually. So I'm playing catch up, unfortunately, but it's kind of nice to not have to worry about all that and go, okay, well, I've got the base now. I just got to touch up a few things and then we're good. But yeah, lots of note taking, lots of stuff. A lot of the guys in the back are helping me with notes and stuff like that, and going, hey, we're going on to a new episode, so make sure we come in and do an introduction. Okay, cool. Now I got that in my head. So it's all entirely a team effort.
Yeah, yeah.
Short.
Yeah. I could imagine now with, like you said, the equipment that you've got and everybody that's on the production side, the live production side, for example, on the Twitch. It is probably I could definitely see that it's much easier for you to edit the episodes because your edit is basically already made. You just have to make sure that that it makes sense when it's chopped up into the individual episodes.
Yeah, and the one thing I'm running into now, which we didn't run into at the quarry, which was great about doing live TV, was at the time a lot of people don't know this, and it's not a very common situation. Is right now is actually giving us the 2 hours, saying here you're in charge of this. So when Right Now was putting out commercials, that was us doing that. They would give us the commercials to air,
Yeah.
and we were putting them in segments, going, okay, so when their commercials running, we got to hit this, and so the whole 2 hours was our doing. But by doing that, everything was in line. All the pre-tapes and promos were done. All the music was ready to go. Everything was ready. So literally for those episodes, I would take the recorded video and cut the end in the beginning, and then the episode was done. But now, with not having to worry about live television and camera or in commercial breaks, I'm now having to go through going, okay, well, I've got to cut some time here because we're still airing on Right Now TV, which is a 44.5-minute show. So I'm having to figure out, okay, I need to cut a certain part of the match here. I've got to cut maybe an introduction here. I've got to do that. So that's really what I'm running into. But yeah, it's infinitely easier knowing that the cut is already done. And short of something catastrophic that we all know I have to go fix, I really don't have to go back and re-edit any of the show anymore, which is a godsend compared to when we were starting and when we were at Grudge.
Yeah, I would imagine kind of piggybacking on the Right Now TV when you guys were having to basically prompt or cue the commercials. If you had something go wrong with the pre shoots and stuff like that, it was a panic mode.
Oh yeah, 100%. And thankfully, those some of them are done live, some of them are done, in pre. And
Yeah,
a lot of people don't. A lot of people think like, oh, they just slap labels on. The truth of it is,
still got to fit it in.
if you see a video that says like earlier today or earlier this week, it really was shot earlier today or earlier this week. So thankfully, those were 9 times out of 10 good. But a lot of some of those were live, and yeah, you would go wrong, and there were once or twice where I'd catch it. I'd be I'd be directing the shows, and you'd hear somebody going, "All right, they're on you, go," and I'm sitting there going, "Oh, my
no.
God, we didn't, or we cut too early." Like so, but that's live TV.
Yeah.
That's kind of the fun of it, and it's something that if you haven't done it, it is the most frustrating but most rewarding thing you'll ever do.
Right. So, are you kind of what I'm gathering? Is the the episodes that you provide to Right Now TV, are they just maybe possibly a little bit shorter than what's being released onto the YouTube and the Fight TV and the etc. because of the time frame that has to fit into a certain hour length of their schedule?
No, we're actually sending out the exact same thing to everybody.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's getting. So if whatever you're watching on Twitch, whatever you're watching on YouTube, whatever you're watching on Right Now, that's the exact same thing. The only difference you'll see is if you're a subscriber and you're actually watching Twitch. Then you might get a few more minutes of a match here and an introduction here that you don't see on the television, and then you get to between breaks interacting with Titus and I and other wrestlers, and then you get something ridiculous like Titus, Matt, and I dancing in the freaking ring at the end of the night to celebrate us hitting our subscriber goal.
Okay, yeah. So there, if so, there, right there, listeners. If you guys are not attending, that's a bonus right there to subscribe, or if you are attending, have a subscription to Twitch as well, so you can go back and watch the little bit longer episodes and bonus features per se, Easter eggs.
Yeah, yeah, and speaking of that, that's something we got coming up this Saturday. Is for those of you who are watching the Twitch channel, we have Rewind every day with Bud Bellflower, and as much as I don't care for Bud as a manager, he's been running that thing really smooth, so I got to give him credit for that. But we came up with a friendly wager that if we hit our subscription goal on Saturday, which I believe is about 100 subscribers, if we hit our subscription goal, Bud and I will go one-on-one in an arm wrestling contest at the end of the night.
Oh, okay. You preparing for that? You guys got an official table and gonna go over the top with Sylvester Stallone?
I might actually have to bust out the baseball cap for that one.
Okay.
But yeah, we got the table, and I'll be preparing throughout the day. We are at Fast Performance Center, so we have plenty of weight. So I'll definitely be preparing throughout the day.
That's awesome. That's cool. What was it like? Now having to switch things since, like you said, from like Shocktober now to the at the Fast Performance Center to get that set up and looking good and working for you and Titus on commentary. I know you guys had to swap positions a couple times where the table was at and all like that. How was that to get that all set up and tweaked and everything? And what have you kind of like found out that kind of works well for you, Titus? Camera, shooting, audio. I mean, the stage. What have you found out that works, doesn't work? What works better? Everything that's kind of getting that all set up and looking nice out there on the Twitch.
It's a learning process, and we're still learning to this day. The last setup we saw in January is probably what we're going to stick with. Before that, I mean, everything else was literally, we need to put up a show here. Okay, well, let's just put this up right now, and this is what we have. And then, this will work. We'll add this to it, and then we'll add this to it. And but yeah, this last setup I think is how we're going to stick it out. We might change the lighting a little bit to having now the pipe and drape around the stage, so it's not just, you don't just see the gym equipment behind us and things like that. It feels like a stage. I can't remember who it was, but somebody walked in. I think it might have been Corrente or Damon Ace walked in and saw the setup and went, "Wow." He goes, "This actually feels like a TV setup now," and he couldn't be any more right, because it does. Like, you can't see the production tables like you used to be able to. You can't see the backstage area like you used to. And that was on us, but it was a learning curve going to a new building with new space, limited resources. We don't have the stage like we used to have. We don't have all the screens like we used to have. But we turn a small, or not a small, it's a pretty big gym.
Yeah.
Gym into a wrestling arena, which it's doable, but it's not a common thing. These places aren't built with the idea of, let's do a wrestling show. And we're doing it the day of and the night before. They're still holding classes there throughout the days. So Saturday we'll go in and they'll still be running, like last time they were running a baseball camp when we were there for Aces Wild. So we're having to set up around them and make sure that they're not infringed on. But it all works out. They're very helpful with us. Fast has been a great partner. They understand what we need to do, how we need to do it, when we need to do it. So it's still a learning curve. But like I said, if you saw Aces Wild, I think that's the setup we're going to go with. It helps Titus and I, because the first time the camera was on us a lot and we didn't like the way that looked. So the second time, okay, we're going to put us here now. Okay, well, now we're looking sideways to the ring, and that didn't look good. And both Titus and I were having neck pain by the end of the night.
I bet.
So this time at Aces Wild, okay, we have a good happy medium now. Everything's set up right, and the camera doesn't catch us as often, and now we're looking straight onto the ring, but we also have our monitor. So everything was doing good, and music and everything's being dialed in perfectly. So Aces Wild technically was probably the best show we've had in a long time, especially any show at the Fast Performance Center.
Yeah, and then you also too with the way you guys had the announcer set up, you were able to get those snarls and dirty looks from the heels when they lost.
Yeah, yeah, they were. We got a few of those, and thankfully, Dustin pulled Damon Ace, the other direction from me, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah. What's what's it been like? In the locker room there, the anticipation of getting this show out and with the fans. Is everybody excited? Feel like they're going to be able to confidently make this look well for the 30 of us that are going to be there.
Yeah, I mean everybody in the locker room is very excited to have fans back. Like we said, we sell our own tickets half the time, and
Yeah.
when we were told, hey, we have 30 people, okay, well that should be easy, and then like 2 days later, hey, we're sold out. Like, well, that was a lot easier than we thought.
Yeah.
So, obviously our guys are just as excited as the fans are to come back. So, and that was what it was it was pushed to have that 10 more people. Okay, we got 10 more people now, and they sold out in 2 days.
Yeah.
So everyone's super excited to have the fans back. Everyone's, especially what I think I'm most looking forward to is our new crop of talent that we have.
Mm-hmm.
That you got guys like Balaam Lynx, Damon Ace, Lilith Grimm, Brumach. There's a new debut coming out of ASWA this weekend. People like Gemini and Lola, who they've wrestled in front of Rocky Mountain Pro crowds before, but it was once or twice. But at Milestone, it was a different type of crowd at Romero's, and Romero's is always a different crowd. At Shocktober with Bierstadt, yeah, the crowd was there, but they had to be so far back that it really didn't feel like a crowd. With this, we're actually, now they're going to be at the ring side, and now we're going to actually have people close, and you can see the expressions better, and you can hear them more, and so I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to affect this new crop that have never wrestled for a real Rocky Mountain Pro crowd before.
Right.
It's going to be very interesting to watch, and I think, Balaam and I talked about that, and he goes, dude, he goes, I did Milestone and I did Shocktober, but this is the first time I feel like I'm actually on an RMP show. And he's like, with the crowd and everything running, and he's like, it's going to be amazing. So Balaam's super excited, as I know a lot of people are.
Yeah. What has it been kind of weird in a way that you or a good positive thing that you feel fortunate that some of the big RMP shows like the Milestone, the Shocktober, have been able to like I said, been at Romero's and Bierstadt, like you said, consecutively, and then now getting these charged. But then you did have the one Aces Wild big show at the Fast Performance, but then without anybody. Did it feel just even though it was a brand new, I know that excitement, but did it just still feel like something was a little bit off and just kind of unfortunate, that didn't have fans for, a debut pay-per-view for Rocky Mountain Pro?
It did. I think everyone probably felt that. Some I'm sure didn't, but yeah, to me, even though we had the new setup and everything, like, had I not been looking at the ropes the entire night, I don't know if I would have felt any different than being at a normal charged at the Fast Performance Center.
Okay.
It felt very much the same, unfortunately. But I was just happy to be able to do it. We have a great place in Fast that's allowing us to actually do the shows and put up with our crazy antics and whatnot. So I was just happy to do it. But like I said, it felt different. It felt like it was like the first time we did charge. This feels almost like a practice, like. And it was weird.
Yeah.
And it was a weird feeling that it took me a couple episodes. Like, if you go back and watch the first episode or two from that, you can kind of tell. Like, it took me a few episodes to get into it and be like, okay, we're actually doing this. Like, it felt weird, and it was a very weird thing to do. But I've never performed in front of an empty arena. It was very strange. So, I can only imagine what it feels like for some of these guys, on WWE or Impact or AEW to be performing in front of an actual arena with nobody. That has to be the weirdest feeling in the world. Because I know what it was like. Like I said, if I didn't have those ropes different, I would have thought it was another charged.
Yeah, in a smaller facility, may be a little bit easier to not feel as weird as, say, you could be standing in the ring or standing on the floor next to the ring and looking around and going, gosh, there's all this space but no people.
Yeah, and that's a weird feeling, and technically it provides a lot of its own problems. Like most of the time you can't. If you listen to like the Twitch recordings, and now we have it set up where we actually are recording every piece of audio individually, so I could go back and redo things if need be. Mm-hmm. And I'm listening to me and Titus's commentary, going, "Man, you can really hear the ring. You can really hear it in our headsets," and that's not something I'm used to. Like that's, I'm so used to the crowd drowning that out. Like even if I'm listening to my own commentary from another show, I'm hearing myself in crowd. Mm-hmm. But to be able to hear every slam and everything, I'm like, that is weird, and it does take some getting used to.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like we joked about pulling the Impact and pumping crowd noise into the speakers just to have something, because it was driving us nuts. Like especially when you have like these huge moves, and we've got some people there. Like the Fast team will hang out behind the curtain, and everyone's following the rules, but they're back there and they're enjoying it. But it's so different. It's such a different thing that it does take some getting used to.
Yeah, I can imagine. Because you're looking at what you're doing, what your part of it is, and going, gosh, that is just different. I know watching on the Twitch stream for myself, I thought it sounded okay. I mean, because you and Titus, your commentary came in clearly, and I think when it gets pumped out on the Twitch, the sound is mixed real well, and it doesn't sound any different or any off. Like for example, you just talked about Impact. Impact, when I've been watching Impact with their closed ring, no fans in attendance, their sound sounds weird.
Yeah, it does.
And their ring sounds weird. Everything just sounds so weird, and I don't know if it's just the particular place that they're doing it or not. But I mean, I'm not trying to kiss anybody's butt, but Rocky Mountain Pro sounds so much better than this national brand.
I'll take that. Thankfully it is a little bit different. I mean, I know they've got different setup, and I don't know where their building is, and I think they're keeping that a secret for a purpose, which is smart. But it has taken us a while to dial it all in. Like, that's what we have a pre-show for, and thankfully we've been able to start doing pre-show matches where, we'll be talking, and half the time I'm doing commentary, and the other half I'm putting messages into the group going, hey, turn this down, this is too loud. Hey, put this up, I can't hear it. And so like that's what we're finalizing during pre-tapes and stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of that, how has it? Do you find that it's been with these last few shows, going extreme, just exclusively on Twitch for the fans? Have you been able to find that balance of, making sure you pay attention to what's going on in the ring, and then that small little bit of break that you get to interact with the Twitch audience, and I've noticed also too, seems like sometimes they're not giving you any time between matches to get these recorded for Twitch.
Yeah, we found a good little sweet spot. We always tell people that we are filming for television. We are filming for national television. So during matches, no, we can't interact with you as much as we'd like. I found my way of doing a little shout out to people is we have the Twitch chat up in front of us the entire time, and I'll scan it from time to time during matches. If there's somebody's in a headlock, or someone's in a submission hold, I'll be watching the screen, but I'll also be checking the chat. So if somebody types something that I think is really funny or is a great point, I'll say it. And, that's my way of kind of shouting them out, like, hey, we do hear you. We do see what you're saying. Yeah. And I've gotten a few people, I'll say something, they'll be like, oh, he saw my comment. And, and that's exactly what it is, and that's during television tapings, that's how I'll do it. And then when we have breaks, yeah, we'll talk to the crowd and we'll chat with them and stuff like that. So we love that interaction. It's at first I thought it was going to be something that was going to hinder us, and it actually has come to help us a lot more.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Did you feel like it took maybe a couple different shows to try to find that spot, where you can balance being able to juggle everything that you're trying to do at once?
No, yeah, it definitely took a few times. At first, when we started doing it in the quarry, there was once or twice where they would have it set up where the chat was on my screen and I was doing something and I'm watching the screen. Well, the ring action and the chat. And there was one point where I just took the headset off and I looked back and went, "Someone get this damn chat off my screen! I can't take this anymore." So it was driving me nuts. I couldn't handle it at first because it was so different, and you know, then when you have those people that come in just to troll you and stuff like that, and it's just like, ah, God, that's frustrating because you can't go back on them, especially on air. So
Right.
but now I've just gotten to the point like I just ignore people and I let the chat mods take care of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they'll figure it out. Or
Yeah.
if it's somebody being a real punk, it's like, all right, just wait until this match is over, then I'm gonna lay into you. Which we have before. So
Yeah, so true. I would suspect that when man, back seems like such a long time ago when there was the weekly shows for Rocky Mountain Pro. There's on Thursdays, that experiment, that I bet you got a lot of repetition to try to get that, try to balance the Twitch versus what you're trying to call on commentary and stuff.
oh yeah, it was tough, but yeah, we got it figured out, and I loved. Um, as time consuming as it was, and sometimes as frustrating as it was, that weekly stuff was awesome. And as a production guy, just being able to have it done by the end of the night was awesome to me.
Yeah.
Going, oh man, I don't have to like spend my Friday nights editing anymore. I actually get to enjoy my Friday nights and watch a movie with my wife. Sweet. So, but yeah, it was, there would be times, if it's super cold, or especially like if the last show didn't go really well, you would dread going in there on Thursday, like, especially with us being there throughout the rest of the week for training and then setting up. And there'd be a few times you'd walk in and you'd just be like, I really don't want to be here today.
Right.
He's like, we got to do it. We got to do it. And once that show hits, once the lights are on and everything's running, like, you just totally lose sight of that, of like, it truly is an escape of, man, I got this going on, and I hate my job and this, but for those 2 hours, like, when I got that countdown, something in my mind would click, and my mind was focused entirely on what I was doing. And so it's the same way it is now. Like, there are times, setup takes a little longer. It's a little bit more frustrating. Right now I have to turn a gym into an arena every time, but we somehow always do it. But yeah, there are times, it's just like, man, I don't know if I want to do this tonight. I don't know if I've got it in me tonight. But the minute I sit behind that desk and they turn the light on, go, okay, we're going to live in Twitch in 10. It's like, all right, game time. And, it's a different person.
Yeah, and I would imagine you mentioned about turning the gym into the area for you guys to use. I imagine there's times that you're trying to corral, like you mentioned before, corralling the people that are doing the baseball training and everything else. And it's like, we got to go. We need the space.
Yeah, and thankfully Fast has been really good about that. Like we said, we had some stuff on Saturday. They had a big training camp for baseball, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And we came in, they're like, hey, you guys can start at 1 o'clock. Like, okay, cool. And so a lot of us were there like 12:45, and we're just waiting. And I think we scared some of the baseball players who are they're preteens, and they're just sitting there, and all of a sudden they just see a bunch of us, like, who are half wrestlers, half production crew, just like not really staring at them, but just staring in the area, like, okay, let's do this. And 1 o'clock hit, they say, okay, you guys are good to go. And we just went. And I think it scared them.
That's fantastic. Well, I know I've been there. I've at least attended one training. I got to observe, so I'm excited to see how it goes from that a little bit. The training setup versus the show setup, and then of course now with the fans.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna
I
be
haven't
fun.
seen the floor set up yet for the fans, so I'm actually looking real forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
I don't know how they plan on positioning them, so it'll be nice to see.
Yeah, because it's probably gonna be tight in some places for any seats and better in others. From what I viewed, what I saw in person when I took a visit down to Fast Performance, so it'll be interesting to see how they get that figured out.
I want to say it's going to be something similar to when we were at Grudge, when we had the production set up on the ring,
Oh, okay.
where like we're going to probably fill hat or three sides, because that one side there's the wall and there's really nowhere to put people. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm assuming they're probably going to have a few in the front near the stage, and a few with their backs to the camera, and then on the side, which will be kind of cool, just to have three sides covered, and no matter where we shoot, we're going to get fans. So that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think that's. I think you're right. I think that's gonna be a good setup, and gosh, what it'd be kind of cool to see a comparison to what the video at when back in the Grudge days versus everything that's been fancied up and such the advancement of technology
Yeah.
and experience that RMP has in producing shows.
Oh yeah. We've got a great, like I said, I can't say enough about our team and how good they've gotten. Have a lot of people have stepped up, and they've really helped take the reins a lot. It's taken a lot of pressure off myself and Dewey and Matt, and so they know their role and they know what to do and they know how to do it well, and they've been killing it, and it's just something we're very, very proud of, that even in a time where people are like not doing anything because, oh, this could be too hard or it's going to be more stress on us. Okay, well, yeah, we know that, but we're still going to do it anyway because we have the ability to, and we can, and we want to. And yeah, I've even said that I think some of the newer stuff that we've done since Milestone has probably been some of the best stuff we've done in a very long time. Not saying that anything we've done was really bad, because a lot of it had great moments. Even in our kind of slower times, we had some great moments. But I think we've just been consistently since Milestone. We've been hitting on all cylinders, and our older stars, some have left, some have come back. But now we have this new crop that's kind of coming in. They're taking it over, and it's really cool to see. This new group coming in and taking it over. I'm excited for what the future of RMP holds.
Yeah, and that's a great lead into my maybe my final question for you. Coming back, how's it been for you working with Titus again?
I hate it. No. Titus and I have always had pretty good chemistry. Like, as much as we give each other crap, and as much as
Yeah,
when he was the general manager and then the CEO, I couldn't stand him because some of it I think got to his head. But but no, now that he's at commentary and he takes it very seriously, and we both take it very seriously, and we want to put on the best show. And there's been once or twice where he's, when we've gone to a commercial break or something, and he just knows that my last outro wasn't good, or I'm dragging, like, he'll pump me up throughout the commercial break of, he'll take his headset off and like, come on, you got this. Remember who the hell you are, and why you're here. And so it's like, I need that. And I think everybody does. So he and I have great chemistry when it comes to commentating.
yeah, that's true. It does show. Along with that, has there been any sometimes when you guys are getting prepped for a show together? Because he did mention that he is helping book the shows and things like that. Has there ever you guys do any preparation, and you're kind of asking him like, I saw that you booked this. What is it that we're trying to convey for this match, or you want to emphasize? Going into this match, this person versus this person. Any of that discussion happening?
Sometimes that's
Okay.
sometimes a lot in the notes that we'll put up.
Okay.
During the week we'll talk, and hey, this match is here and this match is here, and okay, we gotta we highlight on things of like what we want to hit on, like, oh yeah, remember this happened a couple weeks ago, and so we'll write that down. And so yeah, we go through that. I'm not going to say that I help book the show because I don't.
Right.
But he does bounce ideas off me. I throw ideas out if I have an idea. Some have been used, some haven't, which is fine. But he likes to have a second pair of eyes that has been here for so long that knows what they're seeing.
Yeah.
So I might see something and go, hey, this doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, oh yeah, okay, that doesn't make sense. So, but it all goes back to our chemistry and our friendship.
Right. Yeah. So true. All right. Well, KD, I want to thank you for, of course, coming on back onto RMP Radio. Tell us about the event coming up this Saturday, the 20th of February, 2021. If people wanted to, I know you additionally do other things besides the commentary and things like that. They wanted to keep up with you, let's say, like on the social media and stuff like that. See what you're putting out there, because I know you work for a lot of other companies doing promotional materials and things like that. Where could they do that?
Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Just look up KD Productions or KD Productions 87. I'm there. You'll see all my stuff. Like you said, I do stuff with Devotion. I do stuff with for a while with WCWC until they're holding off right now. I work with Sledge a lot. I work with Abaddon a lot. They've given me the chance to design. Abaddon's given me the chance to design several of her shirts. I'm just waiting to hear the final, but I believe Sledge's Ring of Honor shirt will be my design, which will be really cool.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, I'm working with them, working with Sledge on his Twitch stuff. Just kind of trying to get out there and do some stuff. I'm going to head to OVW soon just to kind of try to get my foot in there. So yeah, just check out any of that. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, KD Productions or KD Productions 87. And you'll find me.
Awesome. Well, once again, KD, thank you for coming on. I will be, of course, seeing you this Saturday, and I'm excited to put like I said, my cheers and jeers to the guys and the gals there, and of course, give you and Titus a wave as well, or if not if not in person.
Awesome. We're looking forward to it. Can't wait to have you guys back.
Once again, a big, huge thank you to KD once again for coming on to RMP Radio and helping me launch this another version of RMP Radio. And do not worry, do not fret. We will still have the RMP Radio that you know and love, and get those interviews with the guys and the gals, and have those discussions about those things outside of the wrestling ring. So let's, of course, talk about what we did a little bit here on this, and that is the upcoming charged tapings for this Saturday, February 20th, 2021. If you guys have not gotten your tickets, like we said, they are now sold out. And if you would like, we would appreciate, if you want to watch the show, subscribe to our Twitch feed, twitch.tv/Rocky Mountain Pro. If you are an Amazon Prime subscriber, you do get a Twitch subscription included with your Prime membership. If you already have your Prime membership loaded with a Twitch subscription, it's a nominal fee, $5.99. And then, of course, if you are not a Prime subscriber, which I guess there's just very few of them out there, it's the same price, that $5.99, and we would greatly appreciate for you to support us that way. And speaking of supporting us, some other things you can do is you want to get some merchandise of your favorite Rocky Mountain Pro superstars. Of course, there's many different facets and ways to do that. One of them is head over to the website at rmpwrestling.com. Click on the merchandise link, or if you're in the Amazon.com website or the Amazon app, search for Rocky Mountain Pro. You'll be presented with quite a few choices to choose from there. Also, hit up your favorite superstar. See if they've got a website that they're selling their merchandise at, such as a Pro Wrestling Tees. and the like. And then, of course, if you once we get going and having more attendance, more fans in attendance at live shows, you can, of course, support them by buying a shirt, a trinket, a water bottle, a keychain, whatever they may have, and that would be greatly appreciated after all that we have gone through last year in that crazy world. And we understand if you guys are not in a position to help out in those kind of ways. We just are happy for you guys to be our fans. All right, so we already talked about upcoming events. We got that one. We've got a couple shows happening in March. So head over to the website at rmpwrestling.com as well. Click on the events link. You'll see the upcoming shows for March. Got 2 shows posted right now that's happening. And then in the meantime, between the shows and maybe even for this show, like we said, twitch.tv/Rocky Mountain Pro. Subscribe there. You'll see the episodes when they're edited and chopped up into segments. You can get them at the youtube.com/Rocky Mountain Pro. And then, of course, you can see all the episodes on Fight TV as well as Right Now TV and the etc. Want to follow us? Everything does stem from the website at rmpwrestling.com. And on the social medias, we want you to follow 2 accounts on the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram. First one is the Rocky MTN Pro. Phonetically spell that for you once again. That is the Rocky Mike Tango November Pro. And then, of course, the handle also of RMP, Rocky Mountain Pro, on Twitch. So I want to thank you all for listening to this edition of RMP Radio, where pro wrestling is elevated.